Ladies and gentlemen, buckle up because President Trump is thinking big, and so are we. We all know Trump has already floated the idea of annexing Greenland. And why wouldn't he? It's strategically valuable, resource-rich, and could be the 51st state before you know it. He's also joked about taking Canada, and let's be honest, half of their people would probably thank him for it. But why stop there? If people are flooding our borders just to become American, why not make it official and expand the greatest nation on earth? Today, we're diving into 10 new states that Trump should invite to the Union, each one making America richer, stronger, and more unstoppable than ever before. Let's get started. First up, Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico is already a U.S. territory. Its people are already U.S. citizens, and statehood has been debated for decades. Some Puerto Ricans support it, others don't. But economically, it would settle the debate once and for all, grant them full representation, and bring another Caribbean powerhouse into the U.S. economy. The question is, would Puerto Rico become a deep blue state? Maybe. But let's not forget, they're very religious, pro-business, and skeptical of big government. Sounds like a future red state in the making. Next, let's talk about the British Virgin Islands. If Britain wants to play the globalist anti-America game, maybe we should just take one of their best territories. The British Virgin Islands are a banking paradise, a tourist hotspot, and would make for a fantastic conservative tax haven. They like being British, for now. But once they see lower taxes and stronger economic growth, don't be surprised if they start flying the American flag. Now let's look at the Bahamas. Why stop at the British Virgin Islands when we could add the entire Bahamas? They're right off the coast of Florida. Their economy already relies on the U.S., and bringing them into the fold would turn them into one of America's biggest tourist economies. The only downside, the Bahamas thrive as an offshore tax haven. Would they be willing to give that up? Maybe not. But if the alternative is becoming another failed socialist experiment, joining America starts looking pretty good. Moving over to the Pacific, let's talk about the Philippines. Fun fact, the Philippines used to be a U.S. territory until 1946. And today, they're one of our strongest allies in the Pacific. The U.S. military already has bases there, and given China's aggression, they might prefer full U.S. protection. Not everyone in the Philippines would go for it. But with American business, American jobs, and American security, it might be the best deal they've ever had. Now, if Trump really wanted to send China into a meltdown, all he'd have to do is offer Taiwan statehood. Taiwan is one of the most advanced economies on Earth, leading in technology, semiconductors, and manufacturing. Plus, it would send a loud message to Beijing that the U.S. is done playing games. The downside? China would absolutely lose its mind. But considering how much money they've spent meddling in our economy, maybe it's time we hit back. Now let's head south, to Argentina. Argentina has had a lot of problems, mostly thanks to socialist mismanagement. But the people? They're hard-working, family-oriented, and have already shown they are looking for a way out by electing President Javier Milei. He's like a South American Trump passing bold reforms. He even gifted Elon Musk a chainsaw at the Conservative Political Action Conference this year to celebrate their shared commitment to cutting bureaucracy. Might President Milei be game for even closer collaboration? Why not find out? Now let's talk about Mexico's northern states. If we want a real border solution, how about moving the border down a few hundred miles? Northern Mexico, places like Baja California, Sonora, and Nuevo León, are already integrated with the United States economy. Many of their citizens work in the United States, and their local cultures align more with Texas than Mexico City. The Mexican government wouldn't like it, but the people? Give them law and order, economic growth, and freedom, and they might be all in. Now let's talk about Canada. But not all of Canada, just the good parts. Alberta and Saskatchewan are loaded with oil and resources, love free markets, and have far more in common with Texas than they do with Toronto. Would Canada let them go? Probably not. But with Trudeau running the country into the ground, don't be surprised if their people start looking south for answers. Now, let's head far south, to the Falkland Islands. The Falkland Islands are a British territory that Argentina still claims as its own. But what if the U.S. stepped in and made them an American state instead? The people there love Western values, they have strategic importance, and America could secure its influence in the South Atlantic. Argentina would be furious, but hey, they should have taken better care of their own economy. And finally, let's talk about the moon. If the US is serious about space exploration, why not claim the moon as a US territory? We were already the first to plant our flag up there. The first human colony in space could fly the stars and stripes, setting the US up for total space dominance. The only downside? We might need to update the Pledge of Allegiance to include one nation, under the moon. Love him or hate him, Trump thinks big, and there's nothing bigger than expanding America itself. Whether it's adding new states from the Caribbean, South America, or even space, the opportunities are endless. But what do you think? Should America grow bigger or should we stick to 50 states? Drop a comment below and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more America First analysis, delivered direct.